It's the Greg Larson Show. My name's Greg and I want you to go onto my Patreon and give me money. I don't know if you hear ads in this show, but when you listen to it on Patreon, you definitely don't hear ads. They get auto added to it, but I don't have the ads auto added to the Patreon version, except the little funny ones that I make. Go onto Patreon and support it, and sometimes you get bonus episodes, extra stuff that you don't normally get.
I love you.
The Greg Larson Show. The big unit is ready to go. The Greg Larson Show. Muck around on the marzipan. A fresh custard in his hand. The greatest podcast in all the land. Greg Larson Show. Yeah. Great, just what we need, another podcast show.
All right, welcome to the Greg Larson Show. I did an episode a little while ago where I said, I'm a big fat white dude, but I'm not a conservative. I'm not hard right, and here's why. And, I hope maybe one person who was like a little bit on the fence might have listened to it. Maybe, I don't know. But I want you to listen to this episode if you think maybe I'd vote for the Liberal Party in this coming election in Australia. And just, quick reference again, because I got overseas listeners. I know I got some overseas listeners. You might hate this whole episode because this is all Australian politics. But also when I say Liberal, I mean the Liberal Party of Australia, which is the Conservative Party, because we use the word Liberal correctly, unlike Americans, right? Anyway, we got a fucking election coming up and I don't want these dogs to get in. And I want to talk to people. I specifically want to talk to people who might be voting for the dogs, who might be going, oh, fuck this Anthony Albanese, fuck these Greens, fuck this woke shit. I want to talk to you and try and convince you not to vote for Peter Pedo Dutton. Pedophile Pete, as I like to call him. Pedophile Pete, Peter Pedo Dutton. That's a nickname I'm trying to get started. And I'm trying to get that started. I'm not out here making the claim that Peter Dutton is a pedophile. I'm not making that claim. So you can't sue me for defamation, or maybe you can. You definitely can. It's Australia. You can sue anyone. But I'm not making the claim that Peter Dutton is a pedophile. I'm making the claim that I consider him to be of equal moral fortitude as a pedophile. I think if there was a pedophile near me and Peter Dutton was also near me, I'd be like, there's two equally bad people around. And it's just alliteration. Alliteration is cool. Pedo Pete. It sounds fun to say. He looks like a pedophile. I would feel the same level of empathy towards him being, drowned as a pedophile, Right.
You are everything that's gone wrong in this world.
And the other thing is, if Peter Dutton sues me for saying that he's, calling him pedophile Peter Pedo Dutton, then cool. Sue me, cunt. You can take my piece of shit Honda CR-V from 2006. You can have my half full box of clear wipe lens cleaners that I got on my desk. You can have it, mate. You fucking dog cunt, rich cunt, piece of shit cunt. You can take it all. But here's the thing, right? And I don't think it's a bad thing to say. I don't think it's a bad nickname to call Peter Dutton Pedo Pete. And here's why. Because I'm not saying he's a pedophile. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Peter Dutton is a pedophile. I'm not saying he's a sex offender. But it's weird how, the Liberal Party and Conservatives in Australia do have a pedophile problem, don't they? There's a bit of a pedophile problem. It's a thing that's happening. It's okay. Let's go through the history, right? Who's a pedophile? Alan Jones. I reckon he's a bit of a pedophile. And the reason I reckon he's a bit of a pedophile is he's been charged with sex offences for grooming people, young men. He's currently charged with sex offences. But more to the point, we know because there was an article published years and years ago in the Sydney Morning Herald. It was, I think, the demons that drive Alan Jones. You can look it up; it's still online on the Sydney Morning Herald, and they talk about how he was let go from King's School where he taught. Because he was a school teacher to kids, and he wrote love letters to the boys. They caught a couple of little love letters saying, "I love you. You're a beautiful little boy." He would go into the locker rooms with them while they were naked, and a lot of inappropriate stuff, a lot of touching, a lot of weird stuff, a lot of boys saying, "Hey, we really don't like this guy. He makes us feel really bad. We hate him." And he was let go from King's School. And that was published a long, long time ago. And everyone in Australian media, everyone knew it. He was arrested for public indecency in London, for doing a little jerk off in a public Dunnies. We know that Alan Jones loves young boys. Everyone knows that. Everyone knew that. Everybody knew that, and Peter Dutton knew that, but still Peter Dutton frequently went on Alan Jones's show, as did all the Liberal Party fucking dogs. They would go on Alan Jones's show, they would shake his hand, they would be like, "Oh, you're our mate, you're our booster." Alan Jones, he publicly praised Peter Dutton. He said Peter Dutton was a great bloke. I think I got a quote here from him, actually. Let me bring it up. Hang on, I'll play a sound while I look for my quote.
Died on 9/11. You're trying to be.
I'm sick of playing the same sounds. That one's all right. The quote was just, "Peter Dutton is a man for the Australian people." And that was it. But, it was like Alan Jones loves Peter Dutton. Sex pest Jones loves Peter Dutton. And Peter Dutton loves Alan Jones. He's been on the Alan Jones show a bunch of times. He thinks he's cool. He's always supported him. He's always been a big booster. He's an Alan Jones fan. So the two fans there. Two fans that like each other very much. One a sexual predator who's currently being charged, and the other Peter Dutton, who likes him.
Suck a polar bear's funky ass.
Now let's move on to Cardinal George Pell. Cardinal George Pell, convicted yet overturned, but still convicted, originally pedophile. Cardinal George Pell was a pedophile who abused little boys. He was a pedophile. He's dead now, and he can't sue me for defamation because you can't defame the dead according to Australian law. He died a pedophile. He died a piece of shit. And he abused kids when he was a priest in Ballarat. He abused little boys. He was found guilty of that. He went to prison. Then that was overturned. It wasn't overturned, mind you, because it was proven that it wasn't true. It was just overturned because of like procedural stuff, whatever. But we all know he did it. Everybody knows he did it. He was complicit in covering up child sex crimes in the Catholic Church. He did it himself. He was accused by multiple people. And then, when after he died, it was there was there's like a scheme to give compensation. There's a board, like a government scheme to give compensation to victims of pedophilia. And it was found, beyond any kind of, proper doubt, I guess reasonable doubt that he did abuse those boys, and the boys were compensated from that. And Peter Dutton continued to defend pedophile Pell. He loved him. I mean, heaps of politicians like Tony Abbott spoke in defense of him at his trial. Andrew Bolt, conservative commentator and pedophile friend of the pedos, he spoke in defense of Cardinal Pell. Peter Dutton spoke in defense of him after, he died. He said he was a great man. He was a wonderful person. He said he called it a witch hunt. He said it was a witch hunt. He said Cardinal Pell didn't do anything. We all know he did. I'm sure Peter Dutton knows that he did. He was a pedo. Pedo Pete doesn't give a shit. Pedophile Pete, Peter Dutton, friend of the pedos. Sue me, you dog cunt. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. Like he hates lefties so much, pedophile Pete, Peter Dutton. He hates them so much. He doesn't care. Like he doesn't, and he's a soulless, heartless husk of a man. This fucking Peter Dutton. He is a monster. He had to do a news campaign saying he wasn't a monster. If you have to do there's an article called "He's Not a Monster," you know, like his wife talking about how Peter Dutton isn't a monster. If you have to tell people you're not a monster, you're a fucking monster. Like you're a fucking degenerate. Like that's the fucking Liberal Party, the Conservatives, they are full of psychotic, degenerate, fucking soulless cunts. Frank Houston, he was a Liberal Party guy that was convicted of not Frank Houston. No, Frank Houston was the Hillsong Church leader who was a pedophile. So he was like the Hillsong Church, big Liberal supporters. ScoMo loves the Hillsong Church. He's big friends with Brian Houston. The son of Frank Houston, who was a pedophile, and Brian was accused of covering up his father's crimes. Scott Morrison in the Liberal Party, he was good friends with Brian Houston, loves the Hillsong Church, loves all them. They're all friends. Frank Zumbo, he was in the Liberal Party. He was a sex offender. He was a sex offender that was kicked out and convicted. Then you got George Christensen, right? Who the fuck? Do you remember George Christensen? Does anyone remember this fucking guy?
Oh, come on.
Does anyone remember him?
Oh.
George Christensen, he was this like fucking slimy degenerate from Queensland. George Christensen was in the Nationals, right? He was in the National Party. He did a lot of bullshit. He once posted a meme saying he was going to shoot greenies or something. Like he had a gun saying, "I'm coming for you, greenie punks." He once uploaded a photo of him with in a daddy outfit with a whip, like a leather daddy thing. But he was called by his peers the member for Manila. That was the joking name he was referred to by his Liberal Party colleagues. Because he would go to the Philippines frequently. George Christensen would be in and out of the Philippines every weekend. He would go there all the time. He lied and told people he went there for charity stuff. He wasn't. He was going there for sex tourism. He was rooting around in Manila, George Christensen. And because Manila and the Philippines is the one of the child sex capitals of the world, there's a lot of human trafficking. And even like when it's not kids, there are adults who are human trafficked there. There is a lot of really bad shit going on in the sex industry over there, and a lot of it the illegal sex industry. George Christensen, he was going over there all the time. He was buying teddy bears and gifts for women that he frequently saw in bars and brothels. The Australian Federal Police investigated George Christensen. They investigated him because they thought he might have been doing something even dodgier than having roots. Maybe he was doing real dodgy roots. Now they never found anything specific, but they did tell Peter Dutton that they suspected. There was stuff going on and they were investigating him. And Peter Dutton, instead of going, "Oh, no, this is bad, this guy's going over there," Peter Dutton just leaked it to George Christensen. Him and all his mates, they all just told George Christensen, "Hey, you're being investigated, so just keep it chill, dude. Keep it chill." Because they were looking out for him. They were like, "Oh, like if I found out my friend was being investigated for child sex crimes, I'd be like, oh, man, that's like my friend sucks probably." Like, I wouldn't go like, "Hey, I'll back you. I'll tell them all about it." Like what a fucking dog cunt. And the AFP were even like, "This is a gross." The AFP said, whoever's leaked this to George Christensen, I don't know if it was Pedo Pete or Peter Dutton as he's sometimes known. But it was someone. It was fucking someone. It's probably him, fucking dog. Fucking dog ass cunt. Rory Amon, he was a New South Wales Liberals guy who was arrested for child pornography and having sex with children. It's a Liberal, but like it's a party of degenerates. Like they have this problem, right? All these people that associate with Dutton and associate with the Liberals and associate with the Conservatives, there's a lot of fucking... There's a lot of pedophiles. There's a lot of sex criminals. There's a lot of fucking psychotic, degenerate fucking pieces of shit. What's it? I've got a sample that just says Dutton. Just says Dutton. Oh, it says Peter Dutton fucks dogs. But the sound, I did like a voice effect and it was way too low, so you can't hear it.
It was even lower than this one.
And lower than this one.
Bruce Lehrmann is a rapist. He Dutton loves him. Dutton defended him. He defended Bruce Lehrmann. In fact, like Dutton knew that this crime had potentially been committed. So Bruce Lehrmann was a rapist, essentially, and a court has now sort of proven that, on the balance of probabilities, he is a rapist. Because Bruce Lehrmann sued for defamation against people who called him a rapist, and then the judge went, I think they were right. I think they were right. And Peter Dutton, he knew about all this, and he didn't go to the cops. He didn't go nowhere. He didn't give a shit. Then you got Liberal Senator David Van. He was a sex offender. He was basically forced to resign. He was a senator for the Liberal Party. Sex offender. They're a dime a dozen in the Liberal Party. Then you got Christian Porter, right? You got Christian Porter. He was a minister in the Liberal Party. He was accused of rape. Christian Porter was accused of a historical rape that happened back in the 80s. And basically Peter Dutton supported him wholeheartedly. He was like, no, he didn't. Definitely not. Definitely didn't rape anyone. Definitely didn't. This is the thing when you're just constantly defending people being accused of rape and pedophilia and sex crime, when you're constantly just in the corner, when you're constantly on the team of those guys, like at what point do you go, oh, hang on, this is cooked. Is this cooked? This might be cooked. I might be cooked. But nah, Peter Dutton doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, nah. The second anyone says anything, he's like, nah. Didn't do it. No one's ever been raped. No one's ever been sexually abused. Nah, never happened. Never. He does it and there's times when it's like, fucking Alan Jones where everyone fucking knows it, but he just continues to just pretend like none of this is happening. Christian Porter was accused of rape. And then Peter Dutton, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Peter Dutton, this is one of the scummiest things this cunt has ever done, this fucking Voldemort-looking piece of shit. He sued a guy who made a mean tweet about him on Twitter. Peter Dutton, a multi-millionaire fucking property developer politician, like the elite of the elite, silver spoon, fucking top end of town piece of shit, sued someone in federal court, just like a working class regular human being in Australia. Peter Dutton sued him because this guy said mean things about him on Twitter, because this guy said that Peter Dutton was a rape apologist because of, all the rapes he seemed to apologize for. He was accused of being a rape apologist, and he, on Twitter, someone called him mean words, and he sued them in court. Thankfully, on appeal, the cunt lost, and the judge found, it was the comments were, they literally said, nothing untrue was implied, right? There was nothing untrue implied about those comments that that Peter Dutton was a rape apologist. This fucking piece of shit, fucking dog cunt, low dog cunt sued someone. I hope someone is listening. I hope one person who is thinking of voting Liberal or is a Conservative or whatever is listening to this like everyone on the conservative side always goes on about free speech and like you got to be able to say what you like. This man is literally a government official trying to sue someone for being mean to him. What a soft cock. What a piece of shit. What a fucking bitch. What a fucking crybaby little scum rat. You scum ass fucking shit sucking fucking dog cunt. I'll fucking piss in your fucking mouth, you fucking. Then there was Andrew Laming, the Liberal politician, the Liberal MP who was basically forced to retire from politics because of sexual harassment, because of stalking, because of abusive messages sent to women. This is like a guy who multiple women were like, we felt real scared of this dude. He did some crook stuff. He was harassing, he was stalking, he did all this stuff, right? Now, Scott Morrison in the Liberal Party literally said, oh, yeah, you got to go. You're a scumbag. This is scumbag ScoMo. This is the guy who went to Hawaii during the bushfires. This is the guy who loves the Hillsong Church that was founded by a pedophile, right? This is scumbag ScoMo saying, yeah, you got to go, mate. You're fucked. You're fucked. And Peter Dutton didn't. Peter Dutton stood up for him. Peter Dutton said that he was a decent guy who delivered for his local community. He literally said, I don't know if he said he was a decent guy. He literally did. He implied that he was a decent guy. He literally said that he delivered for his local community. He said, it's time for him to get back to work. He defended this guy that even ScoMo says was a fucking loser. Peter Dutton loves degenerates. He's just surrounded, and the Liberal Party themselves, that's the thing. The Liberal Party has a problem with fucking psychotic, degenerate, fucking sex offenders, fucking scumbags. Ben Roberts-Smith, everyone in the Liberal Party loved Ben Roberts-Smith. Oh, he's a hero. He's a fucking hero. He's a legend. Then he sued someone for defamation for saying he was a war criminal, right? He lost that suit because the judge went, yeah, you're a fucking war criminal, dude. You killed a disabled man in cold blood and then drank booze out of his leg. This was Peter Dutton. This is the guy that Peter Dutton had a heart on for, right? And Peter Dutton hasn't really said shit about that. He hasn't stood up and condemned it and said what a scumbag. He hasn't called Ben Roberts-Smith a piece of shit. Ben Roberts-Smith is a fucking piece of shit. Ben Roberts-Smith is a dog cunt piece of shit, and everyone in conservative Australia fucking stood up for him. Ben Roberts-Smith, and this is the thing, right? I hope I'm being honest with myself. Everyone listening is probably a lefty who agrees with me, but I hope someone is listening who isn't, because I know that you think we all hate the troops. I know you think we all hate, you wear a badge, you wear a uniform, you're a fucking scumbag. I know you think we all think that. And I mean, there's people like Ben Roberts-Smith is a scumbag, and there's a lot of opinions I have about the fucking cops. I'll tell you that. But here's the thing, right? Working class people need jobs, and sometimes the military is like a decent job that they can get, that they can have. I don't begrudge anyone for wanting to join up to an organization that tells them they're going to have a career for life and education and all the rest of it. It's tempting. And also here's the other thing too. I'm not a pacifist. It's it can be noble to take up arms for a cause you believe in, to fight for something you believe in, to put your life on the line for other people's safety and security. In theory, that's a cool thing to do. The problem is when you are someone like Ben Roberts-Smith, you are spitting and pissing on the grave of all the Anzacs who died at Gallipoli. You are a scumbag who is pissing and shitting on the grave of all the people who died defeating Hitler and the Nazis in World War II. You are a scumbag, a traitor to everything that we supposedly hold dear in this country. You are a traitor and a scumbag, and you are pissing on the grave of everyone who has actually died for a cause, who has actually died for something noble, something bigger than themselves. If you kill innocent people for fun because you get a fucking hard on doing it, you're a scumbag piece of shit. and all the conservatives who supported Ben Roberts-Smith are scumbag pieces of shit who are pissing on the graves of all the people who died in World War I and II, you scumbag, heartless fucking dog cunts. I just got to go to an ad. So just a short ad break and we'll be right back.
Do you need rats in your life? Do you need fucking little rats scurrying around the ground, screaming and chewing on your toes and eating all the cheese in your fridge? Then you need to come to my rat farm. I'm Gavin Crumble and I breed rats. I've got over 10 million rats in my rat farm and they are fucking psycho. They are really bad and they've killed 2 people before and they'll kill again. And I make cheese and milk from the rats. I milk rats. If you think I don't milk the rats, you're a fucking idiot. I will shoot you in the head. I've got 6 guns and I will shoot you in the face. These rats are really crazy. One of them is over 100 kilograms. That's too big for a rat. I reckon you could buy it and then kill it and then eat steaks from it. You could eat a fucking rat steak. Imagine doing that on a Christmas dinner with your mum. Help, says mum. I don't want to eat this rat. And you say, fuck off. We're eating rat for dinner, you bitch. We're having rats for the rest of our lives. If you don't buy 10,000 rats at one time, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you with a gun. I keep telling people I've got 6 guns. You don't understand how much I want to kill you.
Thank you so much. That was Gavin Crumble's Rat Farm. They're a big sponsor of the show. He breeds millions of rats and he's in a lot of legal trouble. Peter Dutton is a degenerate piece of shit. He's a degenerate, low-life scumbag. And I've gone on about how the Liberal Party has a pedophile problem, has a sex pest problem, has a fucking rapist problem. But let's talk about racism, right? Because let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. I know that sometimes accusations like Nazi and racist and stuff get thrown around willy-nilly, and it's not always true. It's sometimes true. It's not always. It's easy to call someone a racist or a Nazi or whatever. I want to be clear. Peter Dutton is a racist. Like he does hate people who aren't white, and he does love white people. Like he is a racist. He's not someone who there are people that don't think they're racist, maybe, that do racist things. Maybe there are people who aren't racist, but get accused of it, whatever. I don't know. There's myriad ways that the word can be used, but Peter Dutton hates people who aren't white. He is a racist. He is a fucking actual racist cunt. I mean, he used to be a fucking Queensland cop, but let's actually get into it. Like, his whole career has been about crime wave bullshit, right? He's one of these people that's constantly going on about the crime waves, that are destroying our society. And yeah, this crime is going up in some places, but overall trends, and this is almost global in Western countries, crime is down. Crime, violent crime, house break-ins, it's all downward trend. People talk about, you used to be able to leave your doors open. Well, no, you didn't. Crime was higher back in those days. Back in the day, back in my parents' generation, crime was higher. More people were getting killed. More people were getting murdered. But, for some reason, we just keep having – you can just look at the statistics. You can go onto the fucking Australian Bureau of Statistics and find out crime is on a downward trend in most areas, right? Especially in violent crime and all the rest of it. But Peter Dutton's like, it's crime. It's just crime out of control. We need to lock up 10-year-olds. And here's the thing, and this is why he's a racist, because he specifically goes on about African gangs and Lebanese gangs. And indigenous gangs. He explicitly says that it's the African gangs, it's the Lebanese gangs, it's the indigenous, it's people who aren't white who are doing the crime, right? And the statistics don't necessarily back up what he's saying. He ignores white crime completely. He ignores white crime completely. He goes to Alice Springs because he knows the subtext, and it's a dog whistle, is I'm talking about black crime. That's what I'm talking about. He goes to Melbourne. He goes, Melbourne is overrun by African gangs. He was saying that when I was living in Footscray, where there's a very large African population. I'm just walking around the street late at night going, where's the crime wave? Where are these roving gangs? He was saying people don't feel safe in Melbourne to go outside at night. It's wrong, you fucking cunt. That's wrong. You know that's wrong. I know that's wrong because I live in fucking Melbourne and it's fine. He talks about these Lebanese and African crime gangs as if there's like just go out on the street. Where are they? Where the fuck are they? I live in an area with a high Muslim Lebanese immigrant population. Where are all the gangs? Where are they all? Like you walk down the street, it's fine. It's fine. Look at the statistics. Crime is down. Who gives a shit? And like talk about crime. Talk about your fucking mate's crimes, you fucking corrupt cunt. But here's the thing, right? He's against immigration. He's always going on about immigration. He said recently, so he's for the war in Gaza, by the way. He supports Israel invading Gaza. He supports their genocide. He supports, I got that sound effect for that. Hang on, I got that sound effect. I play it all the time. I'll play it again.
Israel is committing genocide. Israel is committing a
So Peter Dutton supports that, right? And we can go all on about that, but like here's the thing. He doesn't want any Palestinians coming here on any kind of visa. He doesn't want refugees. He doesn't want anyone, he wants he wants them to be bombed, but he doesn't want them coming here. First of all, that's the thing, right? If you want to bomb a country, if you want to kill a bunch of people in another country, then you got to take in refugees. And if you don't want to take in refugees, then shut the fuck up. If you don't want to clean up your own mess, then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, cunt, and get out of the fucking kitchen. I don't even know what that means. Suck my asshole. But he explicitly said he doesn't want any Palestinians coming here because he basically said, and he implied that Palestinians are all terrorists. To him, they're all terrorists. They're deplorables. They're all Hamas. They're all Hezbollah. They're all terrorists. Anyone who's Muslim is a terrorist, according to Peter Dutton. But here's the other thing. He also said when it comes to immigration, he's against Muslim immigration, he's against Lebanese immigration, he's against Palestinian immigration, he's against African immigration if they're black Africans. But he publicly and openly said we need to fast track white South African immigration. Back in I think it was 2018 when he said this. He said we need to fast track white South African immigration because they're doing it really tough and they're having real problems. And he even said that there was he didn't say there was a genocide happening against them, but he was perpetrating this idea that there's this genocide happening against white South Africans. There isn't. It's a land takeover by the government. You can debate that all you want. I'm not even going to get involved in South African politics. I'm going to tell you there's not a genocide happening. That's a lie that has been spread literally by neo-Nazi groups. Literal neo-Nazi groups are perpetuating this lie that there's a white genocide going on in South Africa as a propaganda tool. They've made it up. It's fake news. It's all bullshit. It's none of it's real. You are not going to be killed in the streets just because you are white in South Africa. That is fake news. That is not happening. There's a lot of problems in South Africa, let's be honest, but that's not happening. There's no white genocide that is happening. That is fake news. Fuck up. And white pride groups and Nazis spread this bullshit fake news, and Peter Dutton lapped it up because he is a fucking racist and those are his base, and that is the kind of shit he reads. And he said we need to fast track the South African whites. Like you can't get any more openly racist than that. Than spending your entire career saying immigration bad, these people bad, African gangs, blah, blah. And then as soon as a Nazi says there's a white genocide happening, he's like, we need to fast track them. We need to get them in as quick as we can. Tell me that is not a racist cunt. Tell me that is not overt, just straight up, I hate black people. That is what he believes. That is who he is. He is a racist cunt. And it's ironic because now he's having to say that he hates anti-Semitism. Peter Dutton is now, which is funny because he needs, a large portion of anti-Semites to vote for him. You know, he needs that's his base, and he's having trouble. But he's betting on the fact that people hate Muslims even more than they hate anti-Semites. Peter Dutton is now pretending, and he is pretending. He doesn't believe it. He probably has mates that hate Jewish people. He needs anti-Semites to vote for him, but he's saying that anti-Semitism is this big problem in Australia and all this kind of stuff but he's only saying it, and there is an anti-Semitism problem in Australia. There's always problems with racism in Australia. There is always problems with racist groups attacking people for being Jewish, for being Muslim, for being Indigenous. It has been happening over and over again in this country because of people like Peter Dutton, who are constantly fueling racial hatred, who are constantly fueling division and racial hatred. There is anti-Semitism because of people like Peter Dutton. But he's calling out anti-Semites because it's politically convenient for him to do that, right? Because he is trying to attack lefties. He's trying to equate people graffitiing swastikas and firebombing synagogues with protests against Israel. Now, you know, I can go on about this for a million years, but there's a total difference between criticizing a country and hating an ethnic group of people. They are not one and the same. That is the propaganda tool that Israel uses in order to commit genocide, right? Israel just commits genocide, and then you say anything against them and they go, well, you're an anti-Semite, you hate Jewish people. Well, there's heaps of Jews that hate, you know, what Israel is doing. There's tons of Jews all around the world standing up to the Israeli government. But Peter Dutton is using that. He's saying, and he's literally saying, Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong and fucking people in the Labor Party who are super pro-Israel, by the way, who are super pro-Israel. He's saying that they are anti-Semites and they have directly caused, you know, these mosques, the synagogues to be firebombed. Like, he's saying that, right? He is literally saying that every Palestinian protest is an anti-Semitic rally. He's literally saying that anything you do to criticize Israel is anti-Semitic. He's saying it over and over again. He said the International Criminal Court is anti-Semitic for issuing arrest warrants for war crimes for Netanyahu. He's anything anyone on the left does, he calls anti-Semitic. Except here's the thing. He doesn't call out anti-Semitism when it's his own boys doing it. Like he praised Trump as a big thinker and a deal maker. He praised Trump, right? Trump has frequently been called an anti-Semite. He's posted, you know, memes in the past and said things on Twitter basically about Jewish globalists taking over the world. He's posted memes that Hillary was controlled by Jews. When the Charlottesville rally happened and the neo-Nazis were chanting in the street, Jews will not replace us, Trump called them very fine people. And Peter Dutton called Trump a very good man. Peter Dutton has never said shit about Trump. Peter Dutton loves Trump. Peter Dutton loves Elon Musk. He didn't call Elon Musk out for making an actual neo-Nazi salute. And he did. Like, he straight up made a neo-Nazi salute. And he did it a second time just to make sure you fucking knew what he was doing. He didn't call out Kanye West. I mean, I don't think he has to, but I don't know how much Kanye West comes up in Peter Dutton's conversations. But Kanye West is selling shirts with swastikas on them, and Peter Dutton didn't say shit. I mean, Peter Dutton didn't call out anyone at the Australia Day Nazi rallies that happened here in Australia Day. And I don't mean, you know, Australia Day rallies. I'm not saying that if you wear an Australian flag as a cape, you're a Nazi, although, you know, it's a pretty good indication. But no, I'm joking. There's a difference between being pro-Australia Day and being an actual neo-Nazi. I'm saying literally there were neo-Nazi groups in Adelaide and in Melbourne who were protesting on the streets and doing Sieg Heils, and they were actual Nazis, and Peter Dutton didn't say fucking shit. Because Peter Dutton knows that those people are going to vote for him. He knows that the Nazis, that literal Nazis, are going to either vote for the Liberal Party or at least preference them pretty high up. He knows he needs them. He knows he needs them on his side, and he just figures that like right now, you know, he can basically get away with calling out anti-Semitism amongst his base because people hate Muslims even more. Right? He's a scammer. He's a racist. He's a grifter. He's a grifter. Let's get fucking real.
Oh, kinky.
Peter Dutton's nuclear power policy is the fucking dumbest shit anyone's ever heard or said. This fucking nuclear power policy is an absolute piece of shit. Like, what? He's just lying. He's just straight up lying. It's fucking fake news. This is fake news. He's going, oh yeah, we're going to have nuclear power. It's going to be online by 2030 something. It's going to cost this much. No, it isn't. No, it's not. Everyone agrees it's going to cost way more than he says. It's going to take way longer than he says. It's a non-viable solution, and we're going to have to burn a shitload of coal and fossil fuels and all the rest of it to get there. The only reason he's saying that, the only reason he's supporting nuclear power is because mining companies pay him a lot of money. They bribe him and the other Liberal Party people. That's who their donors are. Always remember that, right? It's fucking mining companies, it's finance companies, it's property developers. That's who, they are not funded from the Australian people. They don't answer to the Australian people. They answer to big business. So it's mining companies are paying him money to say, nuclear power is a good option, and they're paying him to lie and say, oh, it'll cost this much when it's going to cost way more than that, and then it's a viable solution when it's not a viable solution and all the rest of it. Now, I don't know if anyone who would vote for Peter Dutton is listening to this. I fucking hope you do, because this is the fucking thing that pisses me off, right? You're probably, if you are listening to this, you're probably going, yeah, well, who cares? Like, we need coal, we need oil, we need all this shit. Where do you think Australia is going to be when all the coal and the oil is gone? Where are your mining jobs then? Like, where, like, do you think that Peter Dutton and the mining companies give a fuck about you? Like, if you were a coal miner in this country, do you think they give a fuck about you? You are a problem to be solved, right? You are they just consider you the cost of labor, right? Like you are just a cost on a spreadsheet. And if they could eliminate you from that spreadsheet, they would. And they're trying to daily. AI, fucking self-driving trucks, driving machinery, whatever. They are trying to automate the industry, and they will kick you out the door the second that a machine costs less than a human. And that's rapidly approaching. You're out of a job. They don't give a fuck about you. They fucking hate you. Peter Dutton hates your guts. The mining company you work for hates your guts. It makes them furious that they have to pay you a fucking cent. And the second they have another option, they're going to kick you out the door and call you a cunt when they do it. They fucking hate you. And all the profits are going overseas. We're not taxing them. We're not taxing the billionaires. We're not taxing the mining companies. No one's paying a fucking shred of tax. It's all going overseas. So when all the fucking coal and the uranium and the fucking gas and everything is gone, and this fucking country is a husk, and there's no fucking national parks left because everything's been fucking ripped up, do you think they're going to give a fuck about you? Do you think you're going to get anything? You're going to be out of a job. You're going to have nothing to look forward to. There's no other industries. The tourism industry will be dead. The fucking coal industry, all the fossil fuel industries will be dead. When are the lights going on then? If we don't have any fucking solar power and wind power, how the fuck are we going to turn the lights on when all the fucking coal is burned? It's a finite resource. They're lying to you, these scumbags. They're fucking, and the Nationals, if you're out in the bush and you think you like the Nationals, right? The Nationals are the Liberals. They're not a different party. They're the same party. If you vote for the Nationals, you're getting the Liberals. And the Nationals are in lockstep with the Liberals. Every now and again, they'll say something like, they pretend that some of them will pretend that they don't like coal seam gas. Wrong. Who's their biggest donors? Who's donating to the National Party, to the Liberal Party? They love coal seam gas. The National Party are a bunch of fucking private school rich cunts who make you think they're one of you by wearing a big country hat and saying things like, oh, these inner city latte sippers. Well, yeah, I'm an inner city latte sipper. A, I don't hate you. B, I'm drinking milk from the country. Like there's milk in my latte. Also, which is it's a dumb fucking thing when people say, oh, these latte sippers. You can buy a cafe latte in a Hungry Jack's combo meal. It's not that pretentious. Like it's milk and coffee, cunt. Like fucking who cares? But the Nationals, they try and divide Australia into the regional, the bush, and this in the inner city fucking lefties who are out of touch with reality. Well, when Adani, you know, like or like another coal mine or whatever, when it destroys a local community, you know, when the rivers fucking, when all the fish die in the rivers or the rivers dry up, when the fucking land is no longer arable because there's fucking drought, when cyclones just make banana farming impossible, like who's the one that's going to suffer? I mean, everyone's going to suffer, but the people in the regional areas are going to suffer the first and the most. They're the ones who are going to suffer. And the people who, like the Nationals, will be on yachts in the fucking Mediterranean because they take money from the companies that are fucking up your own backyards. They take millions of dollars from those people and they don't give a fuck. Barnaby Joyce is not a good person. He's not an honest bloke from the country. He's a fucking he's a private school boy rich kid who went to a prestigious Sydney university and studied finance, and now he takes bribes from multi-billion-dollar companies and pals around with other billionaires. He's a rich cunt who's got his hand in your pocket while he's going, yeah, those fucking greenies hate you. Like, and what kind of scumbag are they, right? Barnaby Joyce, when one of the bushfires happened, he said that people who voted for the Greens, you know, probably died in the bushfires and implied that they deserved it. He basically said Greenies deserved it if they died in the bushfires, right? They're constantly going on about how they're trying to sow division by calling us, I mean me, like inner city latte sipping lefties and all the rest of it, right? Here's the thing. We're not in the city going, yeah, fuck the people from the bush. We're not in the city going, I hope people in the that voted Nationals died in a bushfire. We're not doing that because we're not fucking scumbags like Barnaby Joyce is. We're not fucking scumbags. Like there were the bushfire charity gigs. There was all, like people were raising money. People were sending money. And people in the city aren't all fucking rich cunts sitting in ivory towers. There's people doing it real fucking hard. You know who lives in the inner city? People in public housing live in the inner city. Like everyone's doing it tough everywhere. And fucking Barnaby Joyce is trying to pit you against us. So you won't notice that his billionaire mates are fucking up your entire fucking property, your land, everything. I can't even go. I've got these fucking cards printed out. I can't even go through all of them. There's so many fucking
Police
things.
Are still searching for the man who shot and killed the CEO of United Healthcare Wednesday morning in the middle of Manhattan.
Is it like we like robo debt? That's a Liberal Party thing. They made up fake debts that they called in from people that weren't real debts. They knew they were fake. They knew they were bullshit. No one went to jail. People committed suicide over these fake debts that the Liberal Party created, right? Because they wanted to criminalize dole bludgers. They attacked the poorest people in Australia by sending them fake debt notices. Can you think of a more scummy practice than that? With the cost of living what it is, with prices going up everywhere, the Liberal Party deliberately attacked the poorest people in this country, and some of them killed themselves because they were given fake debts. You're poor. Guess what? You owe more money. What a bunch of dog cunts. There's like Scott Morrison made himself secret cabinet minister. He gave himself extra jobs in secret. No, like he didn't go to jail. No one went to jail for robo-debt. No one gives a fuck. Sports rorts. The Liberal Party gave money for fake stadiums and fucking football fields or whatever the fuck they did. They were giving fake money to basically bribe people in marginal seats to win elections. Like they've done so much fucking bullshit. The Liberals voted against an anti-corruption watchdog. If you're voting against an anti-corruption watchdog, that's because you're a corrupt cunt. That is because you are a corrupt cunt. They hate you. These people hate you, and they're trying to trick you into voting for them. You want to go on about free speech. Well, the Liberal Party made it so that 10-year jail for whistleblowers. That's a thing they did. Fucking you want to speak up. You want to have free speech. Guess what? Jail for 10 years, cunt. And what Temu Trump, what fucking pedo Pete is doing now, he's taking a playbook out of the Trump thing, right? Because they can't win. They can't win elections at the end of the day if they just talked about the economy and all the rest of it, because it's too easy to attack them for all the things they do. Just corporate tax breaks for billionaires, like sending debt notices to poor people while giving tax breaks to billionaires. Like these conservative cunts, they couldn't win. So they have to do, and this is one of the things they're really successful at, this war on woke bullshit. Peter Dutton's gone on about diversity. This is fucking bullshit. Well, diversity's ruining our workplaces. Fuck off. Like they're trying to claim that DEI or diversity, equality and inclusion, affirmative action, whatever you want to call it, right? They're trying to claim that it's the newest problem facing our society, that unqualified people are getting jobs just because they're queer or because they're black or because, whatever, right? Because they fit a diversity checkbox. That's what they're trying to claim. That is all bullshit. That is smoke and mirrors. That is a grift. They are grifting you so they can steal money from you. This whole thing is bullshit, and I'll tell you why, right? First of all, it's all bullshit. No one's getting a job that they're not qualified for. Like a focus on diversity doesn't mean, oh, we need a brain surgeon. I guess we'll just hire this guy off the street because he fits a diversity checkbox. Yeah, he's got no medical degree, but fuck it. No, cunt. That's not how it works. It's still a qualified person. They're still like, if you want to be a doctor, you still got to be a qualified doctor. They just put in an emphasis on saying, hey, do you want to make sure that we have people from lots of different backgrounds? And that's often a very good thing in a lot of industries, because then you got different perspectives, different ideologies, different people from different places. They're still all qualified. It's just basically saying, all right, we need 10 qualified people for this job. Make sure they're all qualified, obviously, because that's a fucking requirement for any job, is to have the qualification to do the job. But if they're all qualified, then make sure it's not just 10 straight white men. That's all it is. It's just saying, let's make sure if they're all qualified, let's maybe mix it up a little bit. And that's a good thing. Like, how is that not like to say, like, if someone is like a poor, like Indigenous person, right? You could say that maybe they came from more hardship than a straight white private school, rich kid. Maybe they bring something to the table that, a white dude doesn't. But even at the end of the day, right? Here's the other thing, right? Even if they're right, even if it's unqualified people, getting these jobs, then, I mean, unqualified people getting a job because of diversity, as opposed to like 30 years ago when it was an unqualified white businessman getting a job because his dad sucked off the CEO of the company back when they were private school, boarding school kids together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's 90% of office jobs no one's qualified for anyway. Like, all those fucking jobs are just, you just talk and say things, and then if you're good at talking, you get the job. Like, there are jobs out there where the job description is liaising with stakeholders. That's not a real thing. That's not a job. Anyone can do that job. And again, because that's the other thing too. Like, yeah, you got like brain surgeons and firefighters and stuff that, like, yeah, you do need to have some level of qualification. And again, the people being hired do have those qualifications. But as opposed to every other job, I mean, fuck, I've had a lot of jobs. I reckon there's no jobs I've ever had in my life that couldn't be done by a trained wombat. Like, if you got a smart wombat and put it in a little tie, I reckon it could do most jobs. You could train it up to do most jobs. Like, you get a wombat to, say, touch base, and that is 90% of all office jobs taken care of. Like, and this, I mean, I'm a comedian. You could put a wombat in my clothes and get it to run around the stage. That'd be just as good. Like, where your job's not that important. Oh my God, you need to be really qualified to do this job. Yeah, a fucking wombat could do it, you fucking idiot. You're all fucking idiots. Here's the thing, right? If you're even considering voting for the Liberal Party, and God, I hope someone is listening. If you're even considering doing that, I just do what Peter Dutton says. If you don't know, vote no. We don't know who this Peter Dutton guy is. Like, we don't know what his policies are. He hasn't given us any fucking details. He keeps saying all costings and policies, they'll all come out after I get elected. He doesn't have a plan for this nuclear power bullshit. He doesn't have any fucking plans. It's just like, I hate woke stuff and I'm Peter Dutton. If you don't know, vote no. You don't know who this guy is. Fucking vote no. He's a scumbag. You do know who he is. All the things we know about him is he's a fucking degenerate. He surrounds himself with degenerate fucking sex pest pieces of shit. His billionaire fucking backers want him in. He hates you. Peter Dutton hates you. The Liberal Party hate you. You are a problem to be managed. You are nothing more than a labour cost on a form. You are consumers. You aren't a person to them. The only people that they recognise are Gina Reinhardt. Like, they recognise Gina Reinhardt. They recognise fucking, fucking mining companies. They recognise energy companies. They recognise billionaires. That is who donates to them. Look at their donors. Their donors are property developers. They're mining companies. They're gambling companies. These are their constituents. These are who they have to live up to the promises for, right? These are the people they work for. They don't work for you. They are anti-you. Whoever you are. It doesn't matter who you are. They fucking hate you. They are scum. They are fucking low dog rat scum, and they're going to destroy this fucking country the way Trump and Elon Musk and those fucking morons have destroyed America. Do not vote for the Liberals. Do not vote for the Nationals. Put the Liberals last. This election, put the Liberals last. Fucking scum-ass cunt dogs. Was that episode funny? I don't think it was that funny.
Israel is committing genocide.
But, them's the breaks. I hope you enjoy the Greg Larson Show. Go onto my Patreon. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.
The Greg Larson Show. The big unit is ready to go. The Greg Larson Show. Muck around on the Mazapan. A fresh custard in his hand. The greatest podcast in all the land. Greg Larson Show. Yeah.